I grew up in a very normal household, I guess, when it came to alcohol, and that was in the 50s and 60s when my mother would only drink when there was company over.
I used to spend my summers with my grandfather and my grandmother, their house in Connecticut, and the kids were never allowed to have, obviously, what the adults were drinking. So I used to make my grandfather his cocktail, but then I would turn around and make myself a Shirley Temple.
You know, I remember being a kid and seeing my parents drinking, and it was part of dinner occasionally. And then, of course, you know, I went to high school, and my parents were very strict about alcohol. My mom had a padlock on the bar in the house, and it was made very clear to me what their expectations were. And then I went to college, where I encountered, you know, the first chance to practice the decisions that they'd taught me over the years, and then that's when I started to really consider alcohol and my relationship with it on my own.
I choose to drink responsibly mostly because I am exercising a lot and I could choose to have a healthy lifestyle, but I really want to be a role model for my kids and I want to practice what I preach.
For me, I've tried to be really open with the boys. My husband is a non-drinker and always has been. I was a drinker in college after not being a drinker in high school, so I've always kind of given them the real story about, you know, not being a drinker and then kind of going overboard in college and then sort of reeling myself back in hopes that those conversations, those stories would kind of make them stop and think a little bit before they went overboard.
I think responsibility is all about like personal agency and realizing that you yourself have the power. So when you like recognize that, you have like an awareness that every decision you make will affect other people.
And before I was struck by a drunk driver on the highway, I didn't think it could ever happen to me. You know how sometimes you know things happen, but you never think it'll impact you.
I've seen the negative effects that come with drinking too much. Having experienced that in my own life, I choose to drink in moderation.
It's really important to learn how to do it in a way that is responsible and safe and also enjoyable.